Okay, you had page 437, numbers 3 to 45 every third. Um, okay, number 3, you have 3c over d squared times 4d over 6c to the third. I'm going to write this as one fraction. So 3c 4d d squared and, oh, sorry, 6c to the third. Okay, now we start canceling. Everything is factored already. There's no plus or minus sign separating the terms. Okay, so let's see. We can cancel the 3 and the 6. That's 1 and 2. We can cancel the d's. Okay, that'll leave me with a single d left over. Uh, the c's, I can cancel 1 here. That'll leave me with c squared left over. I can cancel the 4. The 4 and the 2. This is a 1. This is a 2. I don't think there's anything left to cancel. On the top, there is a 2. In the denominator, you have a c squared and a d. Okay. If I'm moving a little too fast, just have the substitute pause so that you can take a look at it and then start it up again. I'm kind of moving a little fast only because I get the feel. Well, I'm hoping that you folks are understanding, and then I'm doing it this morning before you folks came into school, so I'm rushing a bit because, yeah, I don't have the time already. Okay, so, okay, next one. Okay, let's see. I'm going to write this as one fraction again. Negative 5 m to the 6 m and m plus 2. Okay, now that we have all the factors, we're going to start canceling stuff. Let's see. The only thing I see I can cancel is the m with the m to the 6. That leaves me with m to the 5th left over. I canceled out a single m on the top. Okay, so negative 5 m to the 5th, and on the bottom you still have the m plus 2. Okay, again, if I'm moving too fast, yeah, or you need to take a look, have the substitute pause. Okay, next one. I'm going to write it as one fraction. A minus 6 and a plus 2 is on the top. You have an a squared and an a plus 1. Huh, such luck. There's nothing to cancel. There's nothing left to factor. That would be your solution. Obviously, it's not going to be this easy when you hit the quiz on Friday, tomorrow. Oh, and we'll discuss that in just a bit. But yeah, it's going to be where you're going to have to do some canceling. It's going to probably be where there will be factoring involved. But yeah, I mean, if you're lucky enough to get something like this easy points, yeah. Okay, next one. Let's see. I'm going to write this as one fraction. A minus 1, a plus 1, a plus 2, a minus 1. Okay, now we start our cancel. Good. A minus 1's cancel. Anything else? Okay. You have a plus 1, a plus 2. Okay, next one. Let's see. I'm going to write this as one fraction. Negative 5 times negative 6. The 6y minus 4 can be factored. They have a 2 in common. If I factor out a 2 from the first term, that's 3y. If I factor out a 2 from the second term, negative 2. 5y plus 6 have nothing in common. Okay, now that we have it completely factored, we can cancel out 2 and the negative 6. This becomes a 1. This becomes negative 3. Okay, uh, there's nothing left to cancel. Hopefully you're not canceling the 3 and the 3 or the 5 and the 5 because you cannot cancel parts of factors. We're just going to multiply. The top is 15. The bottom is 3y minus 2 and 5y plus 6. You don't want to leave the top factored still. If it's possible to multiply it out, and it's not a general thing. It's just that they're just whole numbers. There's no variables involved. It's much easier if you write it as 15. Yeah. So if there were variables involved, you leave it factored like the bottom. Next one. Okay. First step. Write it as a fraction all together. So this is x plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 2, x plus 1. For me, it's just out of habit. I put everything in descending order. It's not necessary in some cases, but since 3 out of the 4 places are in descending order, I'll just put this one in descending order. Okay, now look at all your factors. We can cancel x plus 1. Good. There's nothing left to cancel. X minus 1 over x plus 2. Yeah, you cannot cancel parts of factors, so the x's don't cancel. Okay, next one. There are 2 ways you could do this. Okay, wait. I'm going to do it side by side. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's worse. Ah. Wait, sorry, hold on. Okay. The first way you could do this problem is, yeah, we could write it as one single fraction, but I think you notice already you can cancel stuff. Yeah, the ones. Oh, sorry. Here, negative ones cancel. You cannot cancel anything here is because this is the entire factor, that's the entire factor. So it's just 3 minus x over 4 minus x. Okay, so some of you got it that way. The other way to do this is just to multiply in. Distribute the negative 1 parentheses 3 minus x and negative 1 parentheses 4 minus x. If you distribute the negative 1 to all the terms, then it'll be x minus 3 over x minus 4. So if you got it this way, then that's fine. But you need to show me something. Yeah, whether you show it with the cancel or you show it where you distribute, you gotta show me something. Okay. Is that right for 21? What the heck? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Hopefully, if you're getting used to this by now, you could just do the cancel without having to write it as a single fraction. I'll just continue going the long way, just so that for those of you that are not seeing it yet, you have a 6 and m minus 3 times a 4m to the second. You have a 5m and a 2 parentheses m minus 3. Okay, so we have all the factors written out as one big fraction, and we start our cancel. M minus 3's. What else? The 6 and the 2? This becomes a 1, this becomes a 3. The m's, that's fine. It'll cancel out one of the m's, so there's just a single m left. Anything else? Yeah, I don't see it either. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12m. On the bottom is 5. Okay? $27. I'll go the long way again. If you see how to cancel already, then canceling now is not a bad idea. Okay? One big fraction, m plus 3 to the second, m minus 1 to the second. Okay, the m minus 1s, there are 2 of them here on the bottom, so I can cancel out one of them. There's 2 of the m plus 3s on the bottom, I can cancel one of them as well. And there's nothing left. You have a 5 on the top, m plus 3 on the bottom, and m minus 1 on the bottom. Okay. Number 30. X squared minus 1 can be factored. I'm going to do it already. 2 sets of parentheses. They have nothing in common. X and X. That gives me the first term. The last term here is a negative 1. The signs have to be different in order for it to be negative. Plus minus is fine. And then we still have the 3. Okay, we start canceling. 3, that's fine. X plus 1, that's fine. Okay, there's nothing left. Now, this has happened before. There are some people that see, oh, there's an x minus 1 left over. That's your answer, x minus 1. But you got to remember, it's in the denominator, so we're going to make sure it stays in the denominator. That means there has to be something on top. Yeah, that's fine. It's a 1. And no, you don't need the parentheses. You could just write it 1 over x minus 1, and that's fine. 7x over 4x plus 3. If it helps, this is over 1. Okay, so let's see. 7x. Excuse me. Some of you might be tempted to cancel because you know 4x plus 3 shows up here and here. But the way a lot of people cancel and make the mistake is they cancel the 8 and 4, they cancel the 6 and 3, and then they'll, yeah, you don't want to do that. Factor the 8x plus 6. They have something in common. A 2. That's fine. Bless you. It's a joke. A 2. Okay. Okay, let's see. You factor out a 2. That leaves me with 4x. If you factor it out of the second term is plus 3. You still have a 4x plus 3 in the bottom. And now we can cancel. Okay, next one, number 36. Yeah, I'm going to guess that your quiz problems are going to look more like this, where you have to do the factoring, you have to cancel. Yeah, I'm going to go the long way again. Even though you think you might see how to cancel stuff. Although, when you look at it, you really can't cancel anything because there's nothing that matches. This is t squared. Instead of writing t squared minus 5t plus 6, I'm going to factor it first. They have nothing in common, so I'll go 2 sets. First terms multiply to t squared. Good, t and t. Last terms multiply to a positive 6. So that means the signs have to be the same. I need the 2 numbers first. 2 and 3. Okay, signs have to be the same. Negative 5, so it's minus minus. Okay, that's good. On the bottom, this t squared minus 4 Has nothing in common, but yes, it has two sets of parentheses we can factor. First terms, okay? Last terms give me a negative 4 plus 2 minus 2. Okay. This one, first type of factoring is always what they have in common. Good. They have a t. Some of you might have gone with two sets of parentheses, but you factored that wrong if you did. They have a t in common. If I factor out a t from the first term, there's a t left. Okay, that's fine. Now we start the cancel. The t minus 2, that's fine. T minus 3. The t, we can factor out one of them. Okay, so I'm sorry, not factor, cancel. You can cancel a t from the top, that cancels one of them on the bottom. And there is nothing left. T over t plus 2. I hope you folks getting the hang of this. 10-3 isn't going to be any bit worse. Next one. 4a to the second. This 3a minus 6, they do have something in common. Yeah, they have a 3. That leaves me with a in the first term minus 2 in the second. Okay, on the bottom, they have something in common, a 3. Now, as much as you want to go straight to the two parentheses, I would suggest that you go in little steps. That way you don't mess up on this. A squared minus 4a plus 4. And you still have the 2a. Okay, so before I factor this out, let me just do some canceling so that we can make this a little easier. The 2 cancels out with the 4. That's 1, that's 2. The a squared, you can cancel out one of the a's on the bottom. The 3's cancel. And that's it. So there's a 2a still here on the top. And an a minus 2. On the bottom, now I'm going to factor out this parentheses, 2 sets. A and a. We need 4 at the end. Positive 4, so the signs have to be the same. 2 and 2. Minus minus. And this is cancelled. Okay, we can cancel out the a minus 2's. That leaves us with 2a on the top and a minus 2 on the bottom. Oh, I commented yesterday or the last time you were here that I go downwards, and it's not because it's just a personal preference. It's not because I don't have the space, I write too big and I cannot go all the way across. Personally, going downwards makes more sense, especially when we get to the section where there is an equal sign in the problem. Yeah, you remember me mentioning too that I don't write the equal sign unless it's there. So it's assumed every single step was equal to the previous. All I'm doing is simplifying and canceling. Yeah, so I would suggest, if you're doing this, maybe going downwards is a better idea as opposed to going across the page. It's a good habit. If not, you'll get used to it once you hit the actual equation solving. Okay. Let's see. T to the 4th minus 1. Nothing in common, but it can be factored. T squared and t squared. That's good. We need a minus 1. Plus 1 minus 1. Okay. T squared plus 9 cannot be factored. Even though you're tempted to do so, it's a plus. They have nothing in common. Unless, even if you go plus 3, it's going to give you a middle term. Yeah, so it's just t squared plus 9. Yeah, if you don't believe me, here, just t plus 3, t plus 3. If you multiply it out, you're going to see it. You can do it. Yeah. It doesn't give you t squared plus 9. So we'll just leave that separate. T to the 4th minus 81. They have nothing in common. It's a minus though, so we can go 2 sets of parentheses. T squared and t squared to give me t to the 4th. We need an 81. Plus 9 minus 9. Okay, that's fine. Same with the bottom. T squared plus 1 cannot be factored, so we'll just leave it. We could go further in some, but we can cancel stuff also. T squared plus 9 cancels. T squared plus 1 cancels. You can't cancel anything here, but they can be factored, so we're going to do so. T squared minus 1, T and T, plus 1 minus 1. Okay. On the bottom, T and T, plus 3 minus 3. Okay. That'll be it. There's nothing left to cancel. Last one, 45. One big fraction. M squared minus N squared. Yep. Two terms, nothing in common, but they're subtractions, so we'll go 2 sets. First term's multiplied to M squared. I heard you. Wait, I can't get the pen to work. M and M. Okay. The last terms have to multiply to N squared. Okay, plus N minus N. Okay, let's see. This 2M squared minus 5M minus 3 have nothing in common, but yes, they can be factored. First terms have to multiply to 2M squared. So 2M and M. That's fine. We need a negative 3 at the end for the last terms. These two numbers. Okay, so there's only two ways to do it. It's either 1 and 3 or 3 and 1. And keep in mind, you need a negative 5M in the middle. Should I put a 1 here or a 3 here? 1? So this is going to be the 3 then. Okay, we still need to put the signs to make it a negative 3. So it's got to either be plus, minus, or minus, plus. You need a negative 5. Okay, this is plus 1 and minus 3. Okay, this right here is a positive 1M. On the ends, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 and positive 1 will give you the negative 5M in the middle. Okay, now we start to cancel. 2M plus 1 cancels. M plus N cancels. Yeah, that's it. M minus N. M minus 3. Okay, so hold on to the sheet, and then I'll collect it on quiz day. Make sure you use it to help you study. Okay, take out a sheet of paper. Okay, I'm only going to give you a few problems for 10-3 because really it's not all that different from doing from doing the 10-2. It's just one extra step. Here, copy this down. 9a to the 4th over 7 divided by 9a to the 2nd over 14. Okay, when you divide fractions, that one extra step is the reciprocal. Whatever is after the divide sign, you just flip it over. So that stays the same. When you flip it over, it changes to multiply. 14 over 9a to the 2nd. And then we are back to doing 10-2. Yeah? Write it out, cancel, and then that's it. 1, 2, 9's cancel. There's leftover a's on the top. And so our answer is 2a to the 2nd. Yeah, so all of this now is just doing 10-2. We just have to do one extra step. Just do the reciprocal. Here, we'll try a couple more. Okay, here, write this down. Here, 4m minus 8 over 5 divided by m minus 2 over 10. Okay, have the substitute pause, try this out. When you're ready, start it up, and then let's see if you came up with the same answer. Ready to go? Okay, let's see. We rewrite this so it's a multiplication problem. Okay, now we're back to doing 10.2. We just need to factor anything if possible, cancel it out. So 4m minus 8 has something in common. Okay, good. They have a 4. That leaves me with m in the first term, minus 2 in the second term. Still a 10, a 5, and an m minus 2. Okay, now we start to cancel. Yep, m minus 2 cancels. The 5 and the 10. That gives me a 1. This leaves me with 2. And there's nothing left. So 4 times 2 is 8. Hopefully this is getting easy now. Yeah, I mean, this is the third section. All you're doing is factoring and canceling. Hopefully you can recognize where the factors are and you're just canceling only factors. Not parts of factors, but just factors. Okay, let me put up one more. Okay, let's see. 3 over x squared minus 4 divided by 2 over x minus 1. Okay, try. Ready? Okay, first step, yeah, reciprocal. X minus 2, x minus 1 over 2. This one stays the same. The bottom can be factored. Nothing in common but the first terms. Give you x squared. Last terms multiply out to negative 4. Okay, plus 2 minus 2. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing to cancel, yeah. Okay. 3x minus 1 over 2 parentheses x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay. Same idea then. It's just 10-2 but with one extra step. Okay. You have a test, you have a quiz tomorrow on the first 3 sections. Okay. Your homework tonight is page 440. Numbers 3 to 45. Multiples of 3. Okay, now I'm thinking you're going to need the whole time for the quiz, or at least I'm going to give you the whole time. At least, if you want, I can take maybe about 5-10 minutes at the beginning to go over problems. My assumption is that you folks should be able to do this one a lot easier because it's just like 10-1 and 10-2. Yeah, so if you think we need to spend the whole period, I'll switch it up so that we do 10-4 tomorrow, and then we can push the quiz back. But we have to keep it up because I think we only have like 2 to 2.5 weeks left. If I somehow push this back, the chapter 10 test will end up in term 6. Good thing is that it won't count towards this term's grade if we do that, but you have to remember over the break, something that you folks can discuss. Yeah, but we cannot push back like we normally do. I mean, if I push this quiz back, we have to fill up the space with the next section. Yeah, we gotta stay on schedule. So those of you that need the help, you might want to start coming in. Yeah, there are other problems, by the way. I've been only assigning multiples of 3. There are all the other problems that haven't been assigned that you can practice on. You can come in and check with my book, or you can check in the back of the book. Yeah, but be aware, we're going to stay on schedule on this. As much as some of you think you might want to slow me down, it's not going to happen because, yeah, well, we can. You're just going to have to do the chapter 10 test next term if you slow it down, though. Okay, so keep that in mind. Yeah, tomorrow we have a quiz scheduled. If it looks as though you folks need that extra day, we'll switch the quiz with Monday and do 10-4. Something for you folks to discuss. But ideally, 10-3 is just like 10-2. We can just go over a few problems at the beginning, the first 10 minutes. The rest of the period will be the quiz. Okay, think about it, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, you should have the time to go over this stuff. right now. So just start on it, work together, and then I'll see you folks tomorrow. Okay?